Hello everyone and thank you for joining me for this lecture. Today, we will explore the critical and often challenging world of post-market compliance for medical devices. The journey of a medical device does not end once it receives regulatory clearance and is launched into the market. In fact, that is when a new and continuous phase of regulatory oversight begins. This is a critical period where manufacturers are responsible for monitoring the device's performance, collecting feedback, and ensuring its continued safety and efficacy in a real-world setting. We will discuss the key elements of a robust post-market compliance program, including post-market surveillance, PMS, medical device reporting, MDR, and corrective and preventive actions, CAPA. We will also delve into how cutting-edge technologies like artificial intelligence are revolutionizing these processes, moving them from reactive to proactive. By the end of this lecture, you will have a comprehensive understanding of why post-market compliance is not just a regulatory obligation, but an essential component of a mature and responsible quality management system, or QMS. This session is designed for a diverse audience, including regulatory professionals, quality engineers, and anyone interested in the future of medical device technology. We will address both the foundational principles and the emerging trends that are shaping the industry. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our discussion on post-market compliance for medical devices. To begin, let's establish a clear understanding of what post-market compliance actually means. It is the mandatory, continuous process of monitoring and evaluating a medical device once it has been placed on the market. Unlike pre-market activities, which focus on demonstrating safety and efficacy under controlled conditions, post-market compliance addresses the real-world performance of a device. For example, a new surgical robot might perform flawlessly during clinical trials, but only after it is widely used in hospitals will rare, previously unobserved issues emerge. The purpose of a robust post-market compliance program is to capture this real-world data and act upon it. Regulatory bodies like the U.S. FDA, Health Canada, and the European Union's Medical Device Regulation, MDR, require manufacturers to have documented systems in place for this. These systems include everything from handling customer complaints and adverse event reporting to conducting field safety corrective actions. Without a strong post-market compliance program, a manufacturer risks not only regulatory penalties, including fines and product recalls, but also significant damage to its reputation. It is also a fundamental ethical responsibility to patients who rely on these devices for their health and well-being. This is why post-market compliance is a core component of a mature quality management system, or QMS, and a central focus of regulatory audits. This proactive approach ensures that any potential risks that were not identified during the design and development phases are captured and mitigated in a timely manner, protecting patients and maintaining public trust. Post-market compliance is built upon several foundational pillars, each serving a distinct but interconnected purpose. The first is post-market surveillance, or PMS. This is a proactive system for collecting and analyzing data on a device's performance and safety in the real world. A manufacturer might collect data from multiple sources, including customer feedback, published literature, and sales data. For example, a company producing a new blood glucose meter will collect data on accuracy, battery life, and any reported usability issues from patients and healthcare professionals. The second pillar is medical device reporting, or MDR. This is a mandatory and reactive process for reporting serious adverse events and device malfunctions to regulatory authorities within a specified time frame. For instance, if a heart stent breaks inside a patient, causing injury, the manufacturer is legally obligated to file an MDR report with a relevant regulatory body, like the FDA. The third pillar is complaint handling, which is the process of documenting and investigating all customer feedback, both positive and negative. A robust complaint handling system is the first line of defense for identifying potential problems. Fourth, the corrective and preventive action, or CAPA, system is the engine of continuous improvement. When a problem is identified through PMS or complaint handling, a CAPA is initiated to investigate the root cause and implement actions to prevent the issue from recurring. Finally, a field safety corrective action, or FSCA, which includes product recalls, is taken when a significant safety issue is identified that requires the manufacturer to take action to protect patients. All of these pillars are interconnected, and a failure in one can lead to a failure in the entire system. Each of these pillars is a core requirement of a medical device manufacturer's quality management system, as defined by standards like ISO 13485 and regulations such as the EU MDR and the FDA's 21 CFR Part 820. Post-market surveillance, or PMS, is the engine of a proactive post-market compliance program. It is a systematic process for gathering and analyzing data about a medical device once it is on the market. Unlike the reactive nature of medical device reporting, which only captures serious adverse events, PMS is designed to identify subtle trends and potential risks before they escalate into serious issues. A manufacturer's PMS system should collect data from a variety of sources. This can include customer complaints, sales and service records, and information from published scientific literature. For example, a manufacturer of a surgical instrument might track the number of repairs and maintenance calls to identify a pattern of component failure. The data collected from PMS is then analyzed to identify any previously unknown risks, emerging trends, or opportunities for design improvements. This data-driven approach allows a manufacturer to be proactive in addressing potential issues. It is a fundamental requirement of ISO 13485 and is a central focus of regulatory frameworks worldwide, including the European Union's MDR, which has significantly strengthened its requirements for PMS. A robust PMS system is a win-win for both the manufacturer and the patient. It allows the manufacturer to improve its products and reduce recalls, while at the same time enhancing patient safety by identifying and mitigating risks early. The data gathered from PMS is invaluable, as it provides a continuous feedback loop from the real world, informing not only compliance activities but also future product development cycles. This continuous feedback is what distinguishes a truly proactive quality management system from a merely reactive one. Medical device reporting, or MDR, is the reactive and legally mandated process of reporting adverse events and device malfunctions to the relevant regulatory body. For example, in the United States, the FDA requires manufacturers, importers, and device user facilities to report certain adverse events. There are strict and legally binding deadlines for these reports. For instance, a manufacturer must submit a report to the FDA within 5 workdays for a reportable death or serious injury, and within 30 days for a device malfunction that could lead to death or serious injury if it were to recur. The regulations for MDR are very specific, and a manufacturer must have a clear, documented procedure for identifying reportable events, investigating them, and filing the report in a timely manner. The investigation of an adverse event must be thorough, including a root cause analysis and a determination of whether the device malfunction contributed to the event. A manufacturer's MDR system is a key focus of a regulatory audit, as it demonstrates a company's commitment to patient safety and to complying with its legal obligations. Failure to report an adverse event or to report it in a timely manner can lead to significant regulatory penalties, including fines, warning letters, and even product recalls. In many ways, the MDR process is the ultimate test of a company's commitment to patient safety and is an essential part of the post-market vigilance system. It ensures that regulators have the information they need to identify widespread problems and take appropriate action to protect the public health. Complaint handling is a critical, yet often underestimated, pillar of post-market compliance. While it may seem like a simple process, a robust and well-executed complaint handling system is the first line of defense for a medical device manufacturer. The standard requires manufacturers to have a documented process for receiving, reviewing, and investigating all customer feedback, both positive and negative. This includes any communication from a patient or a healthcare professional that suggests a product may not be performing as intended. For example, if a patient calls to complain that a surgical instrument feels clumsy in their hand, this feedback must be documented and reviewed. This feedback may not be a safety issue, but it could be a usability issue that could lead to a future safety problem. A robust complaint handling system is also the trigger for more serious post-market activities. For example, if a complaint is received that suggests a serious injury or death, it is immediately escalated to an MDR investigation. If a pattern of similar complaints is identified, it may trigger a CAPA investigation to determine the root cause and implement a corrective action. A manufacturer's complaint handling system is a key focus of a regulatory audit, as it demonstrates a company's commitment to listening to its customers and to using their feedback to improve its products. In many ways, it is a key indicator of a company's culture of quality and patient safety. The corrective and preventive action, or CAPA, system is the engine of a medical device company's quality management system and a key component of post-market compliance. It is a documented process for investigating the root cause of a problem and implementing actions to prevent the issue from recurring. A CAPA can be triggered by a wide range of inputs, including a customer complaint, an adverse event report, an internal audit finding, or a non-conformance in the manufacturing process. For example, if a manufacturer receives a number of complaints about a specific component failing, a CAPA is initiated to investigate the issue. The investigation will involve a root cause analysis to determine why the component failed and what actions can be taken to prevent it from happening again. This could include a design change, a process change, or a change in the manufacturing process. The CAPA system is a closed-loop system, which means that once a corrective action is implemented, its effectiveness is verified to ensure that the problem has been solved. A well-documented and effective CAPA system is a key indicator of a mature and compliant QMS. It is a major focus of regulatory audits, as it demonstrates a company's commitment to continuous improvement and to patient safety. The CAPA system is where a company demonstrates its ability to learn from its mistakes and to use that knowledge to make its products and processes better. A field safety corrective action, or FSCA, is the most serious form of post-market action a manufacturer can take. It is a product recall or an alert that is issued to address a safety issue that poses a significant risk to the health of a patient or user. An FSCA is typically initiated when a previously unknown or unmitigated risk is identified through post-market surveillance or an adverse event report. For example, if a manufacturer of a cardiac pacemaker discovers a manufacturing defect that could cause the device to fail, they would be required to issue an FSCA to recall the affected devices and alert healthcare providers. The process for an FSCA is very detailed and is overseen by regulatory authorities. A manufacturer must have a robust plan for communicating the issue to all affected parties, including healthcare providers, distributors, and patients. They must also have a system for tracking the affected devices and for ensuring that the corrective action is effectively implemented. An FSCA is the ultimate test of a company's post-market system. It demonstrates a company's ability to act quickly and decisively to protect patients when a serious safety issue is identified. While an FSCA is a last resort, it is a critical tool for mitigating serious safety concerns and for maintaining public trust. The ability to manage and execute an FSCA is a key part of a robust and compliant post-market system. Regulatory audits are a critical component of the post-market compliance landscape. As noted in the provided reference material, in the United States, the FDA uses the Quality System Inspection Technique, or QSIT, to conduct inspections. QSIT is a risk-based approach that focuses on four key subsystems of the QMS: management controls, design controls, corrective and preventive actions, CAPA, and production and process controls. An auditor will use this framework to verify that a manufacturer's QMS is effectively implemented and maintained. For example, during an audit, an inspector might review a company's CAPA system to ensure that all non-conformances and complaints are properly investigated and that corrective actions are effective. The auditor will look for objective evidence that the QMS is being followed, which includes reviewing records, procedures, and work instructions. In Canada, while Health Canada does not use QSIT per se, it conducts inspections based on ISO 13485, 2016, which aligns closely with the principles of QSIT. The auditor will review the company's QMS to ensure that it meets the requirements for licensing and market access. These audits are not just about finding non-conformances. They are also an opportunity for a manufacturer to demonstrate its commitment to a culture of quality and continuous improvement. A successful audit can enhance a company's reputation and provide a clear roadmap for future improvements. ISO 13485, the international standard for medical device quality management systems, provides the foundational framework for a robust post-market compliance program. While the entire standard is relevant, Section 8, titled Measurement, Analysis, and Improvement, is particularly important for post-market activities. This section requires manufacturers to have documented procedures for complaint handling, medical device reporting, and a closed-loop CAPA system. The standard also requires a manufacturer to use post-market data to identify opportunities for continuous improvement, such as changes to product design or manufacturing processes. By implementing a QMS that is compliant with ISO 13485, a manufacturer ensures that it has a systematic and well-documented process for managing all aspects of post-market compliance. An auditor, whether from the FDA or notified body, will use the principles of ISO 13485 to assess a company's post-market program. A company that has a mature and well-implemented QMS that is compliant with ISO 13485 is in a strong position to meet all the post-market compliance requirements of regulatory bodies around the world. In many ways, ISO 13485 is the cornerstone of a manufacturer's ability to ensure continued safety and efficacy of its devices. It provides a universal language for quality that is understood by regulators and manufacturers alike, facilitating global market access and reducing regulatory burden. The future of post-market compliance is being shaped by the rapid adoption of artificial intelligence, or AI. Traditionally, post-market compliance has been a reactive and resource-intensive process, with quality teams manually reviewing complaints and adverse event reports. In the future, AI-powered technologies will automate and streamline many of these tasks, enabling a shift from a reactive to proactive and predictive model. For example, an AI algorithm can analyze vast datasets from multiple sources, including customer complaints, social media chatter, and service records, to identify subtle trends and potential risks that a human might miss. This allows a company to take preventive action before a non-conformance occurs. AI can also be used to automate the triage of complaints, flagging those that require immediate attention and those that can be handled later. This frees up the quality team to focus on more complex tasks, such as root cause analysis and implementing corrective actions. The integration of AI into post-market compliance is not just about automation. It is about creating a more intelligent and effective system for ensuring patient safety. AI is poised to revolutionize the complaint handling process. A medical device manufacturer can receive hundreds or even thousands of complaints a month, and manually reviewing each one is a time-consuming and tedious process. In the future, AI-powered systems that use natural language processing, or NLP, will analyze customer complaints and other feedback to automate the triage and categorization of complaints. For example, an NLP algorithm can read a customer's email and automatically classify it as a potential safety issue, a usability issue, or a general question. This allows the quality team to focus their attention on the complaints that require immediate investigation. The AI system can also identify patterns and trends in customer feedback that a human might miss. For example, an AI algorithm could flag a subtle increase in complaints about a specific component in a device, even if the individual complaints do not seem to be serious on their own. This provides an early warning of a potential product issue, allowing the manufacturer to take preventive action before it escalates into a more serious problem. The integration of AI into complaint handling will enable a more efficient and effective response to customer feedback, which is a key part of a robust post-market system. AI will have a significant impact on the medical device reporting, or MDR, process. As we discussed earlier, the timelines for filing an MDR report are strict and legally binding. In the future, AI-powered systems will automate the identification of reportable events and streamline the data collection and reporting process. For example, an AI algorithm can be trained to analyze data from a company's complaint handling system and automatically flag an event that meets the criteria for a reportable event. The system can then automatically generate a preliminary report, pre-populating it with all the relevant data, and notify the quality team. This not only reduces the risk of human error, but also helps to ensure that all reports are filed in a timely manner, which is critical for compliance. Furthermore, AI can be used to create predictive models that can identify a potential MDR before it even occurs. For example, an AI algorithm can analyze real-world usage data from a device and predict the likelihood of a malfunction that could lead to serious injury. This allows a company to take preventive action, such as a field safety corrective action, to prevent the adverse event from occurring in the first place. The integration of AI into the MDR process will transform it from a reactive, compliance-focused activity to a proactive, patient safety-focused system. AI is poised to revolutionize the way we manage risk in the medical device industry. Traditionally, risk management has been a pre-market activity that is based on assumptions and limited clinical data. In the future, AI-powered systems will analyze vast volumes of real-world post-market data to identify new risks and create predictive models for device performance. For example, an AI algorithm can analyze real-world usage data from a connected medical device, such as an implantable cardioverter or defibrillator, ICD, to identify a new failure mode that was not identified during the design phase. The AI can then alert the manufacturer to the new risk, allowing them to take preventive action, such as a software update or a design change, to mitigate the risk before it leads to a serious adverse event. This is a significant shift from a reactive approach to a proactive one, where a company can use real-world data to continuously update its risk management file and make design improvements. This is a key link between post-market data and design controls, and it is a fundamental part of a data-driven QMS. The ability to use AI for predictive risk management is the new frontier in medical device quality and safety. Let's dive into a real-world case scenario to better understand how AI is already being leveraged in the medical device industry for safety reporting. A large, multinational medical device company, let's call them MedCorp, manufactures a wide range of devices, from simple syringes to complex surgical robots. MedCorp's quality and regulatory teams were facing a significant challenge. They were receiving thousands of adverse event reports daily from various sources, including customer service calls, online portals, and hospital-based registries. The sheer volume of data made it nearly impossible for a human team to review every report in a timely manner, and there was a constant risk that a serious, reportable event could be missed or delayed. The manual process was also prone to human error, as analysts could become fatigued or overlook critical details. To address this, MedCorp decided to implement an AI-powered safety reporting system. The system was trained using a vast dataset of historical adverse event reports, including those that were previously filed with the FDA. The AI system uses natural language processing, NLP, to analyze the text of each new report, extracting key information such as the type of device, the nature of the event, and the severity of the outcome. It then uses a predictive model to score each report based on its likelihood of being a reportable event to a regulatory authority. This allows the system to automatically triage the reports, flagging all high-risk events for immediate review by a human analyst. The outcome has been transformative. MedCorp has seen a 75% reduction in the time it takes to triage and process new reports. The system ensures that all high-risk events are immediately flagged, which has prevented several instances of delayed reporting to regulatory authorities. This has not only improved MedCorp's compliance, but has also enhanced patient safety by ensuring that serious issues are addressed as quickly as possible. This case demonstrates the power of AI to augment human capabilities and transform a reactive process into a proactive one. Let's explore a second case scenario, this time focusing on how AI can be used for predictive risk mitigation. Imagine a medical device company, Cardiotech, that manufactures implantable cardioverter defibrillators, ICDs. These are high-risk devices that are critical for patient survival, and an unpredictable component failure can be life-threatening. Cardio technicians' quality team was concerned about a subtle increase in service calls for a specific model of ICD, but the cause was not immediately apparent. The company's traditional post-market surveillance system, which relied on analyzing service records and customer complaints, was not able to identify the underlying problem. To address this, Cardiotech decided to deploy an AI and machine learning model. The model was trained on a massive dataset of real-time performance data from the company's fleet of connected devices in the field. This data included everything from battery voltage and lead impedance to the number of shocks delivered and the frequency of rhythm changes. The AI algorithm analyzed this data to identify any subtle patterns or anomalies that could be indicative of a new failure mode. The model quickly flagged a small subset of devices that were exhibiting a specific pattern of electrical noise, which was not a known failure mode. The quality team investigated and discovered that a specific capacitor in these devices was degrading at a faster than expected rate in a small subset of patients with a specific comorbidity. The company was able to use this information to issue a targeted field safety alert to all affected users and healthcare providers, enabling a proactive replacement program for the at-risk devices. This action prevented a large-scale recall and, most importantly, averted potential patient harm. This case study demonstrates how AI can be used to move beyond a reactive model of post-market compliance to a proactive, predictive one, where a company can identify and mitigate a risk before it escalates into a serious problem. While the future of AI and post-market compliance is exciting, it is not without its challenges and risks. One of the biggest challenges is ensuring data quality and privacy. AI models are only as good as the data they are trained on, and if the data is incomplete, inaccurate, or biased, the model's predictions will be flawed. Furthermore, as more and more patient data is collected from medical devices, it is critical to have robust cybersecurity protocols in place to protect this data from being compromised. Another major challenge is the lack of clear regulatory guidance on how to validate and use AI systems in a QMS. Regulators are still in the early stages of developing a framework for ensuring that AI systems are safe and effective. It is also a major challenge to integrate new AI systems with a company's existing legacy systems, which are often not designed to handle the volume and velocity of data generated by AI. These challenges are not insurmountable, but they will require a collaborative effort between industry, regulators, and academics to solve. The key is to be proactive and to start thinking about these challenges now, rather than waiting for them to become a problem. The rise of software as a medical device, or SAMD, has created new challenges for manufacturers and regulators. While the core principles of post-market compliance remain the same, they must be applied to a new set of risks. For SAMD, risks related to cybersecurity, data integrity, and software vulnerabilities are paramount. A manufacturer's QMS must have a robust process for managing these risks, including the validation and verification of software. This is a growing area of focus for regulators around the world, and a manufacturer's ability to demonstrate a robust QMS for SAMD is crucial for compliance. The principles of post-market compliance provide a solid framework for addressing these new types of risks, ensuring that software is not only effective but also safe for its intended use. In the future, AI will play a critical role in SAMD post-market compliance, as it can be used for continuous monitoring and validation of the software, and for identifying and mitigating new risks in real time. Data analytics is a foundational element of a modern post-market compliance program and a key enabler for AI-powered solutions. By using data analytics, a manufacturer can analyze large volumes of data from a variety of sources to identify trends and patterns that might not be obvious from a manual review. For example, a manufacturer can use data analytics to analyze sales data, complaint data, and service records to identify a subtle trend in component failure in a specific region. This information can then be used to create a predictive AI model that can forecast the likelihood of a failure in a specific device. Data analytics is the link between data and actionable insights. It allows a manufacturer to use its post-market data to make more informed decisions about product design, manufacturing processes, and risk mitigation. This is a key tool for continuous improvement and a central part of a data-driven QMS. Continuous improvement is a central tenet of ISO 13485 and a key part of post-market compliance. The standard requires manufacturers to have a documented process for continuous improvement, which is driven by data from a variety of sources, including post-market data. The CAPA system is the engine of continuous improvement. When a problem is identified, a CAPA is initiated to investigate the root cause and implement actions to prevent the issue from recurring. The effectiveness of the corrective action is then verified to ensure that the problem has been solved. This is a closed-loop system that ensures a company is constantly learning and improving. Post-market data, such as complaint data and adverse event reports, provides valuable input for design and process changes, ensuring that a product is continuously being improved based on real-world usage. Furthermore, internal audits and management reviews are used to assess the performance of the QMS and to identify opportunities for improvement. A culture of quality, where all employees are committed to continuous improvement, is essential for a mature QMS. Usability is a critical and often overlooked component of post-market compliance. A medical device may be technically perfect, but if it is difficult or confusing to use, it can pose a significant risk to patient safety. The QMS must have a process for addressing use-related risks, which is a key link between design controls and post-market data. For example, if a manufacturer receives a number of complaints that a surgical device is difficult to use, this could be a use-related risk that needs to be investigated. A manufacturer can use standards like ISO 62366-1 for usability engineering to design a device that is safe and intuitive to use. Furthermore, user feedback is a crucial part of post-market surveillance. A manufacturer must have a system for collecting and analyzing feedback from healthcare professionals and patients to identify potential usability issues that could lead to a safety problem. This is a key area of a regulatory audit, as it demonstrates a company's commitment to ensuring that its devices are not just safe in a laboratory setting, but are also safe in the hands of a user. Regulatory affairs plays a critical role in post-market compliance. While the quality team is responsible for managing the day-to-day post-market activities, the regulatory affairs team is responsible for ensuring that all post-market activities are in compliance with the relevant regulations. This includes ensuring that all MDR reports are filed in a timely manner and that the company is up to date on all changes in regulations worldwide. For a manufacturer that sells its devices in multiple jurisdictions, this can be a significant challenge, as regulations can vary from country to country. The regulatory affairs team is the key link between the QMS and regulatory bodies. They are responsible for communicating with regulators during an audit, and for ensuring that all post-market activities are in compliance with the relevant regulations. A strong and well-resourced regulatory affairs team is a crucial partner in a successful post-market program, and a key enabler for a company that wants to expand its reach into new markets. As medical devices become more connected and reliant on software, the risk of cybersecurity threats is growing. In the future, AI will play a critical role in ensuring the cybersecurity of medical devices. In the post-market phase, an AI-powered system can be used for continuous monitoring of a medical device to identify any potential cybersecurity vulnerabilities or threats. For example, an AI algorithm can analyze real-time usage data from a connected device and flag any suspicious activity that could be an indication of a cyber attack. The AI can also be used to create predictive models that can identify a potential cybersecurity vulnerability before it is exploited. This is a key part of a robust post-market program for connected devices, and it is a growing area of focus for regulators. A manufacturer's ability to ensure the integrity of its patient data and to protect its devices from cyber attacks is a critical component of a mature and responsible QMS. Real-world evidence, or RWE, is a critical and growing source of post-market data. RWE is data derived from a variety of sources, including electronic health records, ERS, patient registries, and wearable devices. This data provides a more complete and accurate picture of a device's performance in the real world than a controlled clinical trial can. For example, A manufacturer can use RWE to track the long-term performance of a hip implant in a large patient population, which can provide a more accurate picture of its long-term safety and efficacy. RWE is a key input for a proactive PMS program, and it is a key enabler for AI-powered solutions. In the future, AI will be used to analyze vast volumes of RWE to identify new risks, create predictive models for device performance, and to inform design improvements. This is a significant shift from a reactive, complaint-based approach to a more proactive, data-driven approach to post-market compliance, and it is the future of the medical device industry. The European Union's Medical Device Regulation, or EUMDR, has had a profound impact on post-market compliance for medical device manufacturers worldwide. The EUMDR has significantly strengthened post-market requirements, and it has set a new global standard for compliance. The regulation requires all manufacturers to have a proactive PMS plan for all their devices, and it has made the reporting of all adverse events mandatory. The EUMDR has also introduced a more rigorous approach to FSCA and product recalls, and it has placed a greater emphasis on the use of real-world data and clinical evidence. The EUMDR is a key driver of a global trend towards more stringent post-market controls, and manufacturers that want to sell their devices in the EU must ensure that their post-market program is compliant with the regulation. This has led many manufacturers to re-evaluate their post-market compliance program and to invest in new technologies, like AI, to meet the new requirements. The risk-based approach is a fundamental principle of modern medical device regulations and a key part of post-market compliance. The principle states that a manufacturer should prioritize its resources and controls based on the level of risk associated with a device. For example, a manufacturer should apply more stringent post-market controls to a high-risk implantable device, like a cardiac pacemaker, than to a low-risk bandage. This approach ensures that a company's resources are focused on the areas that have the greatest impact on patient safety. It is a fundamental shift from a one-size-fits-all approach to a more intelligent, risk-based approach to quality management. An auditor will expect to see evidence of this risk-based approach throughout the QMS, from the initial design and development to the post-market phase. As we have discussed, AI is poised to revolutionize post-market compliance. However, it is important to remember that AI is a tool to augment human expertise, not replace it. Human oversight is critical for the validation and decision-making process in a QMS. For example, while an AI algorithm can be used to flag a potential MDR, the final decision to file the report rests with a human. A human must review the data, investigate the root cause, and make a final determination. Similarly, while an AI algorithm can be used to identify a potential recall, the final decision to initiate the recall rests with a human. It is also critical to train personnel on how to use AI systems effectively and to ensure that they understand the limitations of the technology. This is a key part of a mature and responsible QMS. The goal is to find the right balance between automation and human judgment, ensuring that the QMS remains robust and effective. Data integrity and security are a key requirement for any QMS, and they are a growing challenge in a digital world. The standard requires manufacturers to have a documented process for ensuring that all data is accurate, complete, and has not been tampered with. This includes data from post-market surveillance, complaint handling, and MDRs. In the future, as more and more data is collected from connected medical devices, it is critical to have robust cybersecurity protocols in place to protect patient data from being compromised. A manufacturer's ability to ensure the integrity of its data and to protect it from cyber attacks is a key focus of a regulatory audit. This is a key part of a robust and responsible QMS, and it is a growing area of focus for regulators around the world. Post-market data is a key input for the design and development processes. Under ISO 13485, the standard requires a manufacturer to use post-market data to identify opportunities for design changes and improvements. For example, a manufacturer can use complaint data to identify a design flaw in a device that needs to be addressed. This is a key part of a closed-loop QMS, where data from the post-market phase is used to inform changes in the design and development phase. This ensures that a product is continuously being improved based on real-world usage. This is a key part of a mature QMS, and it is a major focus of a regulatory audit. It demonstrates a company's commitment to continuous improvement and to patient safety. The post-market compliance life cycle is a continuous and interconnected life cycle. It begins in the design and development phase, where a manufacturer must plan for post-market activities, and it continues throughout the product's life cycle, from its launch to its eventual discontinuation. The post-market compliance life cycle is a continuous feedback loop for improvement, where data from the post-market phase is used to inform changes in the design and development phase. This ensures that a product is continuously being improved based on real-world usage. This is a key part of a company's business strategy, and it is a major driver of patient safety and efficacy. The cost of non-compliance with post-market regulations can be significant. A manufacturer that fails to comply with its post-market obligations can face a wide range of penalties, including regulatory fines, product recalls, and market withdrawal. For example, a failure to report an adverse event in a timely manner can lead to a significant fine from a regulatory body like the FDA. A product recall can be very costly, and it can also lead to significant damage to a company's reputation and a loss of public trust. The high cost of non-compliance highlights the value of a proactive, data-driven QMS. By investing in a robust post-market compliance program, a manufacturer can reduce the risk of a regulatory issue and protect its reputation and its business. This is why a proactive approach to post-market compliance is not just a regulatory obligation, it is a smart business decision. In conclusion, post-market compliance is a continuous and critical process that is essential for ensuring the continued safety and efficacy of medical devices. It is a shift from a reactive, compliance-focused approach to a proactive, patient safety-focused one. The future of post-market compliance is being shaped by the rapid adoption of artificial intelligence, which is enabling a new paradigm of data-driven, intelligent quality management. The integration of AI into the QMS is not just about automation, it is about creating a more effective and efficient system for ensuring patient safety. The future of medical device compliance is one where a manufacturer's commitment to a culture of quality and patient safety is the key to its success. Thank you for your time and attention. We have covered a lot of ground today, from the foundational principles of post-market compliance to the transformative role of AI. I hope that this lecture has provided you with a comprehensive understanding of why post-market compliance is not just a regulatory obligation, but an essential component of a mature and responsible quality management system. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to ask.